Week 1, 5, 15, 15.
I don't speak Spanish. Pitnazits.
Whoa.
How about that one?
Few records. Just a little housekeeping. Last 2 weeks, up 7 units.
Yes.
We put $10 on every one of our bets.
You would be up $7 million if your unit size was $1 million.
Yes. That is statistically true.
That's fact.
We're up 15 units in 6 weeks. So
that's ridiculous.
And I believe it was about 6 weeks ago when I said the gravy train was rolling. You better get on now.
I didn't even believe you when you said that.
And I'm
on the gravy train.
And I meant it. And the gravy train's still rolling.
Yeah, you didn't think I'd whip out the Russian on that one, did you?
Oh, we need.
Featuring Patrick and Stex Gray. Simon Free Chicken Brishkovich. Welcome to Hops and Props.
It's a hazy little thing called love. The Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA, stolen from my father 5 minutes before showtime.
That's what I'm talking about.
Some of the boys forgot to load up on the brews.
You know, there comes a time in every man's life when he goes 5-0 the last week, and he's celebrating so much that he forgets to do it. So my bad.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the 5-0 last week. We should have made that a bigger deal.
5-0 last week, so that was pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet. You take all his bets, 5 bets, you're up 5 units.
5 units, but you also toss those in a little parlay, that's plus 2,000.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
Alright, Hazy Little
think?
Thing IPA. It's alright. My dad loves these. I'm not a big fan. It's a little maltier than I'd like.
I actually think this is really good. This is, what's the word? Very carbonated. And that's like a weird...
It's crisp for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's crisp for sure. You know what else is crisp?
What?
This stone cold lock I'm about to give you.
The toothpick.
And this is a player hater's pick right here. I'm going Carson Wentz under 225.5 pass yards. This dude couldn't throw it in the ocean if he was standing on the beach. I'm taking the under if I had to look at the Patriots schedule. Against quarterbacks though, since week 6 when they played Dallas.
Okay.
This is the quarterbacks who were playing against the Patriots. 145 pass yards, 153 pass yards, 73 pass yards, 93 pass yards, 172 pass yards, 223 pass yards, 51 pass yards. Do you know what all those numbers have in common?
What?
They're all under 225.5. And that's why this is an absolute stone cold lock.
Wait, Carson Wentz is at 225?
Carson Wentz's line is at 225.
Oh, that's horrible.
When you look at Justin Herbert, who only threw 223 yards against the Patriots,
Yeah.
and is a far superior quarterback.
Justin Herbert, you mean the top 3 quarterback in the league?
Currently number 1 in fantasy.
Number 1 in fantasy, but top 3 in my heart. I'm saying Tom, Aaron, Justin
Whoa,
Herbert.
I like that a lot. I like that a
100%.
lot.
All right, let me toss you out this lock. Same game, actually.
Little gravy? Give me a little graves.
This one is it's actually not the same game. My bad. Bills Panthers this week. Josh Allen under 52 rushing yards. I like this line a lot. Last week he comes out, runs for 100. However, little known thing that he walks out of that game in a walking boot that week. Does all of his interviews. He got very injured on the last play of the game. They're setting his rushing line at 52 right now. If he is injured the way he was walking out of that game last week, he is not going to be running the ball under 52. They're playing the Panthers. I think they handle them well, and you won't need to do it.
I like that. I'm going to counter, though.
Mm-hmm.
I like the injury play. I'm going to counter with the quarterback over rush yards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go...
Please tell me Taysom Hill.
I'm going to... Ooh. You get a pick. A or B. Alright, it is Taysom Hill. It is Taysom Hill. You didn't even know. Taysom Hill, over 43.5 rush yards.
Oh, it's so good.
The last 2 weeks, the only 2 weeks he's been a starter, it's been 101 and 73. He's now playing the best defense so far. This is my belief.
Okay.
When you play a better defense, the quarterback will run more.
Yeah,
Too much pressure. That's what the Bucs are going to do. He's going to break off 1 or 2 extra times. Taysom Hill, over 43.5 rush yards. That is their offense right now.
43 is much too low, so I love that pick. All right, my next pick, sadly, my favorite player right now, and everyone who's been riding knows, Jalen Waddle, out this week with COVID, but I'm going to take the backup. Devante Parker, over 62.5 receiving yards. Tua has been killing it the last 5 weeks. What?
Tua Anonymous.
Tua has been killing it. The man's won 6 in a row. What do you want from him?
He's rolling. I can hate no longer.
Devante Parker last week as the wide receiver 2 against a solid Giants secondary finished with 62 yards. Without Jalen Waddle this week, I think his target share goes up at least another 3 or 4 targets, and I think he's in the over.
Yeah, I'm starting with fantasy this week because I think Jalen Waddle out. He's got a lot of potential, like that upside. Yeah. I'm going to come back. Wait, do the other one? Now you only have one option. Oh, there it is. This is Ryan Tannehill, over 13.5 rush yards. A little bit grimier quarterback running pick.
Who?
But the last 2 weeks he's had over 20 rush yards.
Okay.
And these are the last 2 weeks. Those are the 2 weeks, obviously, without A.J. Brown, without Derrick Henry. He has no weapons. None, zilch, nada. He's going to run a little bit. The Titans are going to struggle. I like him to at least break off twice. Ryan Tannehill, over 13.5 rush yards. He's actually had 5 rushing attempts in 2 of the last 3 games.
Hey, while we have a second, are you worried about the Titans? Oops.
The Titans in...
Are you worried about them in general? They have not scored more than 2 touchdowns in 3 straight games now.
No, I don't. People act like running backs are replaceable. Yeah. That's true for, like, half of the running backs in the NFL.
Yep.
Derrick Henry is the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
He is the most valuable player in the NFL, and people acted like they would still be good. If you don't have Derrick Henry and you're the Titans, you literally have nothing. There's nothing to build around. As soon as Henry's done, the Titans are done. I like the Titans, but they ride Derrick Henry, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's a little bit scary, but it's going to be fun to see.
They have no one who can score.
Coming back for playoffs, it's actually going to be a really fun matchup watching them get Derrick Henry back. All right, anyway, back to mine. My next pick, I love this week, Raiders minus 3.5. And this is simply due to the fact that the Raiders got blown out last week. So technically, off a blowout, teams should be better against the spread. And the Browns have over 17 players in COVID precautions, including...
Baker's not happy.
No. Including all QBs, wide receivers, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, corners, everyone. So many of their starters are out this week. I really just think this is a pick that the Raiders have to be able to beat a B team, offense, defense. If they can't handle that, then I'm wrong. But the Raiders right now have all their key players. The Browns are so shorthanded that they deserve to lose this week simply because this is not like their team.
Yeah, a lot of cocoa going around the league.
A lot of cocoa.
Got to bet against the cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming back actually to Nashville.
All right.
You know, I was just talking about how the Titans have no weapons.
Yes.
I was slight cap. Because they do have Julio. He's coming back last week.
Julio's back?
Last
Please
week,
retire.
Julio had 6.
Please.
Last week, Julio had 6 targets, but he only played 45% of snaps. He was on a snap count because he's coming back from injury.
Okay.
I was going through the Titans roster. Who's going to score or catch or get positive yards for the Titans this week?
No one.
I don't know anyone else
Ryan
on the team.
Tannehill averaging under a touchdown per game right now. It's
That's what I'm saying. Julio Jones, though, I'm going over 4.5 receptions. This is at plus 110, a little bit juice.
Solid pick.
But last week he had 6 targets, only playing 45% of the snaps. You play the full game. I think it's a different tale. I think he comes out. He's the only weapon. I think they have to go to him. Even if it's short yards, they have to go to him. I think at Julio over 4.5 receptions. It was always Julio.
Pat, that is a very solid pick. I'm very impressed with you on that one.
I got stats.
I had no clue, but I'm about to take that pick as soon as we finish this. All right, Christian Kirk over 56.5 receiving yards. Simply said, DeAndre Hopkins is out. I've always thought that Christian Kirk has been the number 2 guy. There's been games when AJ Green kind of takes over. Number 2.
He's the ish.
He is.
There's
been games when AJ Green sort of takes over, but I really like Christian Kirk's role on this team. He's been with the team for 3 years now. He's still the younger guy. He actually has more speed. And he he tends to catch more long balls. So over 56, I really like it with Kyler Murray starting and playing. Take Christian Kirk over the yards. So it has to go somewhere.
I like that. It has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
He's going to catch a deep pass for sure every game. I'm going to Tampa Bay, where Rob Gronkowski.
God, he is so good.
The last 4 weeks has had more than 52.5 receiving yards. 6 of the 7 full games he's played this season, he's had over 52.5 receiving yards. This line is ridiculous.
52.5?
52.5 is ridiculous. He's done it in 6 of 7 games that he's played. He's only played in 7 games. It's important to realize that. But Rob Gronkowski is their go-to guy when they need a big play. When they need a catch that they know will be... When they know that they need a catch, They go to
Yes.
Gronk.
They do, yeah.
Against the Saints secondary, which is a great secondary, great defense, well-coached team.
All right.
Well-coached team, it's important to know, they're going to have to go to Gronk in those big-time situations because the Saints are going to put pressure on him. I think Gronk over 52.5 is a lock and a half.
You mean Sean Payton, the coach of the Saints?
You mean
AKA
Kevin James?
Kevin James.
Kevin James.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, that was your last pick?
Yeah, that was 5 winners.
All right.
This might end up being a parlay for me this week. I love this board.
I'm liking your picks a lot more than mine. However, I'm going to give one last pick that was so
This is
disgustingly ugly to me.
I'm looking at it. It's
It was
gross.
horrible. And I try to convince myself that it's wrong, but it's not. And that is James Robinson, over 85.5 rushing yards. Urban Meyer, gone.
Talk me through this one because this is disgusting.
Hey, everyone. Urban Meyer just lost his job. Don't kick the man while he's down.
Sorry, Josh Lambo.
Anyway, James Robinson is gone. New head coach comes in and says James Robinson is the starter until further notice.
Was he not starting?
No, it was
Urban is a moron. He's the worst coach of all time.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. He only lasted 10 games. That's got to be a record. Someone look it up.
It was ugly every second, like in the public eye.
Yeah,
there
it was
was no positives to the season.
Zero positives. James Robinson with 6 touches last week couldn't get anything going. However, James Robinson in games when he has actually gotten more than 15 touches. Do you want to know how many times he's hit the over on 85 yards? That's a very high over/under.
How many times?
6 out of 7 times he's done that.
Wow.
He actually has 600
But
rushing
he needs
yards.
15 carries.
He needs 15 carries. The new
What is
head
this?
coach comes in and says he is the starter. He will be getting the carries. And guess who Jacksonville is playing this week? The Houston Texans, one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. I think
Florida might even blow them out. Like they might, or not Florida.
The Jags.
Jacksonville might just have, they might have
Texans.
to hold it late.
Yeah.
They might be run down the clock because
They
the Texans
are the
also
favorites
bad.
against the Texans. I really like for them to come out a little bit revamped, and James Robinson has been disrespected. Trevor Lawrence even came out and said that he was getting disrespected because he was obviously the better back. If the new head coach likes him, over 15 carries, I like them to have the lead late, over 85 rushing yards. My lock. It's ugly.
That is disgusting.
Disgustingly ugly, but
I'm going to take, because I'm a rider, if a man goes 5-0, you take all of his picks because I'm not a moron, and you shouldn't be a moron.
You doubted me
either.
last week, but look where it put you. Right
Man.
back to me.
That's a show.
And it's a great one, actually.
Fantastic. 10-0. I might parlay them all.
I'm actually going to toss all of yours in a parlay this week because those were really nice. I'll admit, last week I was feeling very confident, went 5-0, should have done the parlay. This week, I'm loving your slate.
Should we just start doing parlay every week?
Surgical 5-teamer parlay.
Alright, like, comment, subscribe. Merry Christmas. Will we have another episode before Christmas?
I think so, yeah. It's the 16th today, so... And there's Christmas Day NFL games, right?
Whoa. That's going to be jolly. Should we go Santa suits for the show?
Yes, because we will have Santa suits for no apparent reason.
Peace.